As a YouTube content creator, you have a lot of opportunity on the platform. You have skills that you are applying to the content that you're making in order to make great content for people. And you also have people that are watching your videos that you can introduce things to that can help you earn an income from just bringing attention to the things that you believe in. So today in this live stream, we're going to be talking about different ways, not just talking about, I'm going to be looking at your YouTube channels, but we're going to be talking about different ways that you can make money from your YouTube content. Now, what we're doing in this stream, the whole theme is I am looking at YouTube channels, and this is free, thanks to our sponsor for this particular stream, which is called Uscreen. They are a course creation platform that allows you to have kind of like your own Netflix on their service, to where you can monetize, you know, through course material and community and things like that. We'll get more into them later, but the idea is that we are looking at YouTube channels and we are looking for different ways that you can monetize the content that you're making. And the reason for this is because so many content creators are making amazing content and they are missing out on tons of money because they just don't know the options that they have available, or that they just don't have, they haven't looked into it, or they don't know how to, you know, deploy some of the options when it comes to monetizing their content. So because of that, I'm going to be looking at your channels today, and we are going to be, you know, figuring out things that you can do to make money from your content. So because of that, we are going to, you know, go ahead and get started here. And again, for those of you that are just joining us, Uscreen is the sponsor of our stream today. And I'm actually going to put them up on the screen here really quick, just because, you know, it's awesome for them to do this. So if you're not familiar with Uscreen, just so you know, it's where they help you earn revenue, recurring revenue actually, from your video content. Now, some content creators will upload content to Uscreen as a, you know, as a course. Other content creators will upload content to Uscreen to put up exclusive content so that their viewers can go over there and they can watch content that isn't publicly available on their YouTube channel. Now, this type of thing is fantastic if you are, let's say you're limiting yourself in the content that you're making or how you're making your content, because you have to make sure that you're thinking about audience retention and all that stuff that makes videos perform well on YouTube. Well, you can use that content to, you know, entertain people or give people a great experience. But another thing that you can do is you can actually take that content and you can make longer versions of it, better versions of it, different cuts, things like that. And you can even put that up on Uscreen for your viewers to participate in. So you can try this for yourself. I've got a link down in the description below for Uscreen, or you can go to uscreen.tv. But I wanted to make sure that I'm bringing your attention to that today, because I'm going to be mentioning them a lot through the screen. I'm wearing their shirt. And like I said, the stream is sponsored by them. But we're going to go ahead and just jump right into the content, because I want to look at some of your channels, and I want to, you know, make sure that we can get some people thinking a little bit different about how they're monetizing their YouTube channels today. Because one thing I want to let you know is that a lot of people, when they start out on YouTube, they have this idea that, you know, once they get into the YouTube partner program, then they're going to be able to make lots of money from their videos. And in some cases, that is the case. And in other cases, you know, an extra $1,000 a month is awesome for some people, but other people require a lot more. So because of that, it's really important to identify other ways that you can monetize your content through your YouTube channel. So common ways that you can monetize your YouTube channel, of course, just so you know, as we get into this, some of the things that we're going to be talking about is, you know, you can monetize through affiliate marketing. You can monetize through digital products like courses and downloads. You can monetize through physical products. You know, people make all kinds of stuff. You know, like, for example, Pat Flynn, he makes like the Switch Pod, you know, as an example, as a physical product. Technically, books, you know, print on demand books, those are physical products. People make money through providing services based on the skill sets that you have, and they could be related to your YouTube channel or not, but, you know, based on those skill sets. Merchandise, of course, through services like Spreadshop. You have crowdfunding, sponsorships, and of course, content licensing. Those are the main ways that people, or the most popular ways that people make money from their content. But if I run across a channel and that particular channel has, you know, something to where we can explore other avenues, then of course those will be mentioned as well. But one thing I want to let you know, if you're hanging out on this stream, is regardless of the type of channel that we're looking at, what you want to do is you want to make sure that you're thinking to yourself, okay, all this information that he's talking about with this particular channel, what about the things that he's saying about this channel can I apply to the channel that I have, right? That's the idea. So as we get into this, again, this is all, free for content creators. Hey, Patty, what's up, man? Thanks for the super chat, dude. I appreciate it. So as we get into this, how this is going to work is the channels that we're looking at are randomly pulled. Again, this is done free because of our sponsorship with Uscreen. And the channels are randomly pulled through this giveaway tool that I'm using, to where we're going to put a hashtag into the chat. If you want your channel to be looked at, we put a hashtag in the chat. This giveaway tool, I put it up on screen so you can make sure everything's above board. But this giveaway tool is going to randomly select one of the people that put in that hashtag. And then from there, we're going to open up the channel, we're going to look at it, and we're going to see, what we can do to, help them, get monetized, or not get monetized, but help them monetize their content better. So with that said, the first hashtag that we're rolling with, of course, is Uscreen. So if you want to have your channel pulled up here, make sure that you look at, or that you put hashtag Uscreen in the chat, and we'll get you, and we'll, hit this thing here in just a second. So right now we have 4 entries. So get those coming in, because, once we hit, a decent amount of entries here, then I'll hit the draw option here and we'll start pulling these down. Now, Callie Codwell, as these are coming in, says, awesome live stream. Thank you for the super chat and the kind words. Super appreciate it. And the Nurse Flipper says, Nick, I'm close to 60,000 subs, but my views have been downtrending for 6 months. Would love some insight. So the Nurse Flipper, this particular stream is about monetizing YouTube channels. So the, general YouTube questions isn't something that we're covering here in this stream, but one thing that I am going to tell you, just because you already dropped that, you didn't know that, so I'll just answer this while we're waiting for more entries to come in here to the screen. So basically, when you are having those downtrends, in YouTube Analytics, there's a compare tool. And in that compare tool, you can actually compare date ranges against each other. So in order to access this, you go into your Creator Studio, you go into Analytics, and then up in the top right-hand corner, you're going to see an option that says Advanced Mode. It's blue text. You click into that, and then when you click into that, you're going to see a compare option over on the right-hand side. You can compare video against video, date range against date range. Technically, you can go into the grouping feature of your YouTube channel, and you can create groups of content and compare them against each other so that you can start seeing what content performs best and things like that. But the idea of using the compare tool for the date ranges is you can look at your traffic sources and you can see, when I was thriving, this is where I was getting all my traffic from. Now that I'm not thriving as much, this is what's going on with the channel now in terms of the traffic. So this will help you start identifying things. Like, for example, let's say that you had a video that was getting a ton of suggested traffic, and you notice, hey, I had a drop off in this line here around this time that my channel started performing more poorly. So in suggested traffic, so because of that, I'm going to go and I'm going to look, into my videos, and I'm going to see, which ones fell off there in the suggested traffic, and that's going to help me identify kind of what the problem was. But then on the other side of that, you have the how do I fix that, right? So what you have to do there is, as YouTube channels evolve, the content creators change, the video topics can, be modified slightly. The content creator can get better at what it is that they're doing. And because of that, it'll cause people to respond differently and those sorts of things. But the idea is using your compare tool in the analytics to start identifying maybe content that fell off that maybe you can make an update for that could, possibly bring the channel back to life. Or maybe even in some of your newer content, you're trying to drive some attention to some of those videos that fell off through your end screens, your pinned comments, and your cards, so that you can get some more fresh data to those videos to hopefully bring them back to life, or to cause YouTube to start recommending them again. Or if they fell off, like I was talking about before, then in that particular case, you can actually go in, maybe update the thumbnail, update the title, those sort of things, to see if you can get it moving again. So the idea, the best thing you can do in your particular case is look in the compare tool, compare different date ranges. Basically, this is when I was thriving, or this is an area of time when I was thriving right before I fell off. This is, now, and then you can start painting a picture. Once you start clicking through the different options you have available for you in that comparison, it'll start painting a picture for you about, what's happening now compared to what was happening before. And then you can start thinking, okay, this is what was happening before. What can I do now to kind of hop back on the horse, so to speak? So hopefully that was helpful in some way. And Rocked says, you helped a ton over the years. Thank you. My pleasure. Glad that you are enjoying the content and finding it helpful. Paul Peck Drywall Tube. What's up, man? Okay, so we've got the screen up. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and hit draw because we're at 64 entries right now. And we're going to see who comes up here. And then we're going to pop open their channel. Now, keep in mind a couple qualifiers for this is when I pull up the channel, you got to have some best practice things, put together. You got to be uploading on a regular basis, those sorts of things so that, it's so that you have the, so that you're doing the thing in order to take advantage of the information that I'm talking about. Because if somebody isn't necessarily like uploading hardly ever, or they haven't uploaded in a month or something like that, then they're not really doing the thing. So because of that, that time is better spent with somebody else. So just for everybody here, just so it's important that the channels that we are looking at are current in terms of them publishing content now. So let's see here. So I'm looking for this channel in the chat right here so that I can give me 1 second here so that I can pull them up, and it's See You Scrapping. Okay, got it right here. Go to channel. Boom. Okay. So let me close this menu over here, and we're just going to look, and really quick, I'm just going to try to get an overview of what it is exactly that you are, what it is that you're doing on the channel so that we can start to figure things out from there. So you're doing, okay, so you got Wi-Fi routers teardowns, you got transformer teardowns, more Wi-Fi stuff, TV teardowns. Okay, so you're scrapping, and it looks like through this scrapping, that you are basically just taking stuff apart. So it's like you're finding stuff, that people have discarded, and then you are taking it and you're taking it apart. So in your particular case, just for those of you that are dropping Uscreen in the chat right now, make sure you do hit the little live text on your screen because that'll bring you forward to the conversation now because you might be coming in on a little bit of a delay there. But yeah, somebody mentioned that your banner in terms of, it looks like you uploaded this on a mobile device, which is perfectly okay. But one thing you'll notice for desktop users is this stark white, blank white that's coming out of the top. So just to bring that to your attention so you can see what that looks like on a desktop computer also. But okay, so right out of the gate, in your particular case, the very first thing that I'm going to mention in your case is, of course, the option of affiliate marketing. So for those of you that are just joining us, the main basic ways, or the most common ways, I should say, that people make money from their content is affiliate marketing, digital products, physical products, providing services based on your skills, merchandise, crowdfunding, sponsorships, and content licensing. So the very first thing that I'm going to look at here is I'm going to look at the affiliate marketing side of things. And the reason for that is because I see all these different tools on your desk of all these different, things that you're using. I see your, Vice here. You have all these different things that you use in order to, take apart all the things that you're taking apart, in addition to the thing that you're taking apart itself. So one thing, and I'm just going to the Wi-Fi one just because that one seems like, kind of low hanging fruit. So in this particular case, if the people are watching this video, for this Wi-Fi router teardown, in this particular case, they might just be watching it out of interest, right? Just like, oh, hey, this person's breaking down a Wi-Fi router. I wonder what that looks like. Other people could be watching it thinking, hey, maybe he's going to fix this thing and my Wi-Fi router, needs some work or whatever. And other people are just going to come in. I don't know if you're sharing, like a lot of scrappers do, if you're sharing like monetary values and things like that, to where other scrappers are just trying to get an understanding of, what's valuable and what's not. But basically, the very first thing I would recommend to you, if you're not doing it already, I'm going to look in your description, is, you don't have anything in your description. So right out of the gate, just as a heads up, everybody here can sign up for affiliate programs where you can bring attention to the different things that you use for your content. So in his case right here, in CU Scrapping's case, you can see he's got these screwdrivers, he's got these, little specialized Allen wrenches that he's using, this kind of stuff. So one of the things that he can do in his videos is he can just mention, while he's taking this thing apart, he can just mention how long he's had. And I know this sounds ridiculous, but it works. He can mention like, hey, I've taken this thing apart, this screwdriver, talk about this particular screwdriver, how he's been using it for years. It's such a good screwdriver. So happy that he got that particular one. Matter of fact, he'll put a link to that and all the other tools that he uses down in his video description if anybody wants to check him out. But anyway, as we take this cover off of the box, blah, 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 right? So the idea there is you can sign up for an affiliate program or for an affiliate partner at Amazon.com. They have an affiliate program. They do have some qualifiers. So because of that, You have to make sure that you do hit those thresholds for their qualifiers. You also have Walmart that also has an affiliate program as well. But with Amazon, that seems to be the path. Like a lot of people, use Amazon on a regular basis. But a bonus with Amazon is that if somebody goes to Amazon looking at the screwdriver that you recommended to them, or whatever it is that you recommended, then in that particular case, if they buy the screwdriver, or if they end up getting distracted and buying something else on Amazon, you still get a percentage of that sale, right? So because of that, even if they don't buy the screwdriver, by you sending them there, they get cookied in, which is basically it's logged in their browser that you sent them there. And if they make a purchase of anything on Amazon in 24 hours, then you get a commission for that purchase that they made, okay? Because you sent them to Amazon. But there's other affiliate programs as well. So things that you might want to think about is, for tools, is looking into, what tool affiliate programs have the highest payouts, those types of things, so that you can start, recommending some of the tools that you are using. Other things that you can do in your particular case is a way to get people down into your description and clicking on those affiliate links is, in this particular case, right, you're taking apart this router. So what you can do is, since you have this router and you're taking this thing apart, is you can say, okay, this particular router right here is a, whatever router it is, it's a Linksys, whatever. I've actually got a link to this down in the description so you can see all the specs and see all the details about it and blah, 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 blah. And then that's one more link that you have down there that people can go check out of curiosity that can get them cookied into, or get the Amazon cookie into their browser, right? So on the affiliate side, and you say that you're already setting up your affiliate Amazon page now, it's fantastic. So yeah, affiliate is definitely something that I would consider. Now, the next thing on the list is, of course, digital products like, courses and digital downloads. So in your particular case, and your audience better than I do because, I'm just pulling this up and, doing this on the fly. So if you know that your audience is people that are coming into your videos and they're coming into your videos for the sake of learning how to scrap better, then in that particular case, what you can do is you can say, okay, I've got a bunch of other scrappers that are coming into my videos because they're trying to learn, how to do this better, or they're just curious and seeing how other people are doing it or whatever. If you're finding really good stuff and, if you're finding good stuff and you're good at what it is that you do and you can break it down into a process, then in that particular case, you could make PDFs that people could download. That could be a checklist of different things to look for when they're scrapping. That particular PDF download could be a list of things to avoid as part of that package that you make available. Things to avoid, like never pull these things out because they're really hard to sell or blah, blah, blah. You could also have, another guide that you put together of like the best places that you typically find the best stuff. Anything like that to where you can kind of shortcut the learning curve, or you give people, checklists or something like that to where you're making things easier for them. That's another thing that people will purchase from you. Now for this, you can use a service like SendOwl or something like that to where it's just a really easy setup. You just make the documents themselves, export them as a PDF, upload them to SendOwl. SendOwl does have a fee for this download, but basically what they do is they connect your PayPal and or Stripe account, and then if somebody goes from your video to your link, which would be on SendOwl, then in that particular case, if they end up buying your PDF download, then of course you would make money for that sale. So when it comes to your channel, so far, we've got two things. And of course, these are brainstorms, right? So because of this, all of the things that we're talking about may or may not apply. But, I'm just sharing some ideas with you because this whole thing is like a brainstorming session. Now, on the digital product side of things, you also do have courses available. So you could do that through something like Uscreen, or you could do it through any other service, or even make your own, website and put it all behind a paywall there. But if you do want to share your processes for scrapping and teach other people how to scrap, for profit, if that's what you're doing, then in that particular case, you can even put a course together for that. The next thing on our list, of course, is physical products. Now, this one is something that people typically go for when they have much larger followings that they can really depend on to get a faster return on investment. But when it comes to physical products, this is like a long game thing, right? So if you're a new content creator and you are thinking of like, okay, if everything worked perfect on my YouTube channel and I had like a decent following, people that were engaged in my content, and I could make a product that they would enjoy, that they would get value from, what would that be? Write that down and shelf it, right? Shelf it until you're making money from your YouTube channel that could support you actually having something like that developed, okay? But just keep in mind that it's really important, especially when you're starting a YouTube channel or just somewhere in your journey, to make sure that you are thinking big and that you are, realizing that as, a content creator, you can also make physical products and you can bring attention to them through your audience. For example, here, let me show you something really quick.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
So Pat Flynn made this this device right here. It is a switch pod, right, for vloggers. So basically you put a camera on it and then basically you can flip it and set it down, while you're vlogging. You can, close it, all that stuff. It's angled, so you can kind of hold it out and all that. But for content creators, right, when he brought this out, in a very short time, they did over $1 million in sales on this thing in a really, really short time. There's another channel. I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head, but it's a cleaning channel. In their particular case, they made these microfiber cloths, same exact thing. They've made like millions of dollars off of these microfiber cloths that they sell through their YouTube channel. But Pat Flynn has a huge dedicated following because he adds tons of value. In her particular case on the cleaning channel, she also has a channel with, when we had the conversation, I think she might have had like 800,000 subscribers or something, but now she's got, I think like 1.5 or 2 million subscribers on her channel. But I just want you to think down the road, what could I possibly make for my audience, right? That's the idea. And then of course, in your case, like merch, I wouldn't really worry about merch right now. If I was in your case, really out of all the different things that you can do, I would focus the most right now with your current standing on your YouTube channel, see you scrapping. I would focus the most right now on affiliate marketing and digital products. And the reason for that is just because those are things that are easy to put together. You don't have to put a lot of investment or time into them. And with both of those things, you can get the information together once. One of them you'd have to create. One of them you would just have to do some research for and grab some links. But you get the information together once, and then you can put it into your video content, and then you don't have to think about it anymore, right? So because of that, those are the things that I would recommend to you. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pull up another channel. Let me pull this down here really quick. If you're enjoying this so far, if you're getting any value at all, make sure you give this a thumbs up. And again, this stream is brought to you by Uscreen. Uscreen is a online platform, and I just closed my giveaway tool. That's great. So it is a online platform where you can create your own like Netflix style service for your content. So if you're somebody that makes like really interesting content, like, Patty's in here, earlier, like in his case, he could put entire episodes on Uscreen to where it would be paywalled essentially, and it would be additional content on top of what it is that he's making. And then he would basically be able to turn his Uscreen channel into an additional channel for what it is that he's doing, where people could get content that's not currently available on his YouTube channel for the people that are hyper engaged in what it is that he's doing. So let's see here. So next up on the list here, we have, let's see here. What are we going to do the hashtag for here? Let's do Uscreen. Let's put a number here. Okay. So now we're going to do Uscreen72 is the hashtag. So if you want to have your channel looked at, then make sure, because that's kind of the qualifier, right? Like this is our way of making sure that I pull up channels that actually, want us to look at the channel. So Uscreen72 is the is the hashtag. So make sure that you get it in there. And See You Scrapping says, thank you so much, Nick. My pleasure. Hopefully that's helpful for you. Take that information and run with it. And one thing that I want you to know too is because, right now your channel, when I was looking at it, had like a little over 600 or maybe just a little under 700 subscribers on it. So keep in mind, if you can get some of these things in place now, as your YouTube channel grows, like they'll just slowly start trickling in, a sale here, sale there, that sort of thing. But as your YouTube channel grows and you get better at doing the YouTube thing, as that timeline plays out, then your income will grow along with your YouTube channel, which is like a double win in that particular case. So then by the time you do have like a large channel, you're making, like serious money from what it is that you're doing. Okay, so here we're at 85 entries right now. So I'm just waiting for a couple more to come in. I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, and go. Okay, so we'll see what comes up here on this next one. And keep in mind, I'm doing these on the fly. So like if one comes up and I'm like, yeah, I'm not sure how to monetize that, I'm going to let you know. So just as a heads up there, just so you know what's going on. Creaky Blinder, what's up, dude? Let's see here. So Kelly Codwell is the name of this channel here. So let me find this in the chat really quick, and then we'll pull up Kelly. So Kelly, if you can, for anybody, when your channel gets, when your channel comes up here, if you could just say something in the chat really quick, because that makes it just a little bit easier for me to, find it. Learn Spanish World, what's going on? Jerry Papandrea, my man. Hope you're doing great. Tiffany, nice to see you. Drew Project, what's up, man? Let's see here. Looking for Kelly Caldwell. That's the one thing about the hashtags, right? Is like as we're going through them, man, they end up. There he is. Okay. Yep. Thank you, Kelly. I see your name here. Let me go to channel. And here we go. I'm going to take this full screen so that so everybody can see it here. We can go like full screen. Let's go kind of sideways full screen. Okay. So let's see here. So first, let's figure out what Kelly's doing. Let's see here. Crystals for manifestation. Okay, this will be easy if that's the content here. Bonus play on Pirates by Slots. Kids playing on the beach in the Philippines. Okay. So on your channel right here, you're actually, it looks like just like a variety channel, like you're doing like a vlog of some kind. So some of these are going to be easier to monetize than others, of course. So like some of the stuff that I was seeing on the front of the channel is definitely going to be easier than like, get ready for what's to come because there's no real clarity there. But, like the power of cinnamon, as an example, affiliate stuff all day long right there. So you talk about the power of cinnamon, mention that you got cinnamon stuff, down in the description of your favorite cinnamons that you love and enjoy. And adding those types of things to your content in terms of the stuff that you love and enjoy is definitely something to add because, when people are interacting with your content, if there is stuff that you really, love and enjoy and support, when you share those types of things, people, they don't take it lightly. And people who, as an example, who might be into cinnamon, like me, who puts cinnamon in my coffee, then in that case, it's like, hey, is this cinnamon different? Let me give it a shot. But one thing that I do want to highlight here really quick, Kelly, is that on your channel, I see that, you're at 21,000 subscribers, but it looks like everything is really varied in terms of the type of content that you're putting out there. So just a quick tip for you, unrelated to the conversation today, is just some clarity, maybe in your channel art. You probably have it on your About Me page. Okay, you do different things to inspire people and advice on different topics. Yeah. So one thing that can be really advantageous for you just for your growth, and I just have to say this because, it's like I'd be doing you a disservice if I didn't, is just getting really clear on who it is that you're making content for, and then deciding on the content that you put on your YouTube channel is only content that would serve that particular audience. That can get you a lot farther faster because then every video on your channel becomes something that one viewer can just sit there and watch, and binge watch through a bunch of content. As it stands right now, it looks like you're doing tons of variety content, through your vlog. So I would try to wrap your topics if possible. I mean, do your thing, right? This is just a recommendation. Hey, Kitty, hope you're doing awesome. Nice to see you in here. This is just a recommendation, of course. But I'm just saying if you are like, hey, I would love to, kind of pick things up a little bit here and make things, move a little bit faster. I just wanted to, mention that to you. But let's see here. So let's go back to your videos page. And when I saw the crystal thing, that was another one where I was like, yeah, monetize this easy because, through like, if you're talking about crystals and manifestation and those types of things, then of course, making those available, as an affiliate is definitely something you could do in your particular case. Since you are traveling a little bit, because I saw that you did have something about, I think it was like the Philippines, I believe was one of the things that you had on those. anytime you're traveling, I know that there are some like credit card companies that have affiliate programs to where, you can get points and things like that when you travel, hooking up with them so that you can recommend those. And if I recall, the payouts on those are actually pretty good too, in terms of, the cut that you get. But those, types of affiliate programs might be something you want to look in for your travel content. Anything that you do that is product based, then, that's definitely something you'd want to make sure that you have something available as an affiliate down in the description as well. But really the rest of this, because you are doing it vlog style and you are growing this around your own personality. Oh, you know what? You haven't uploaded in a year outside. Hold on. Let me look at your shorts content. So it looks like you are doing some shorts content. So this kind of breaks this qualification in terms of, uploading regularly. You can still do some of this with shorts also on the affiliate side, but it's a little bit harder to get people into courses, things like that on the affiliate side. But like this right here, let me just highlight this. See how you have this manifestation spray? Here in this particular case, if you do have things like this, anything you talk about like this, make sure that you do have an affiliate program attached to it, because that's definitely, or not affiliate program, but an affiliate link attached to it. Because if you do have somebody, oh, you're right. Thank you. Yeah, I took it on, I just changed it to popular. Sorry about that. But yeah, if you take those things and 12 days ago, my bad, my mistake. But if you take those things in your YouTube shorts also, and you just have an affiliate link where, hey, I'm talking about this spray, connect with the company that makes that spray, see if they have an affiliate program. If they do, put a link in the description where people can actually get that spray if you're not doing that already. On these, I would say that there are websites that you can link to for this kind of stuff, but those are actually against YouTube's terms of service. Most of them are. So you can't really do that on the affiliate side for like gambling related stuff. Yeah, here's the one in the Philippines. So this is one, and keep in mind, for everybody here, if you are going to be promoting something as an affiliate, it's important to also make sure that you are thinking about mentioning in your content, right? So if it's like, hey, I'm going to be, hanging out with, my kids on the beach in the Philippines, and part of the thing that I'm going to be talking about here is, maybe our journey and what brought us to the Philippines, whatever, or I'm just kind of showcasing what it is that we're doing, then in that particular case, I'm going to dedicate a segment to this video. And this is where intentionality comes in with the content that you're making. I'm going to dedicate a small segment of this video talking about our travel here and maybe how complicated it was. And then within that, I'm going to recommend, the travel agent that I used, if they have an affiliate program, or the travel company that I used. Or I can talk about, hey, if you do decide to come over here, we got points, that, help us save up for this trip by using this particular credit card. I've got a link to that down in the description, that type of thing. But I think the affiliate side would definitely be, the thing for you. And if you do find that you have, really engaged viewers, then in that case, the merch might be something that you would think of or that you might want to try as well. But for the other things right now, actually the vlogger content licensing might be another thing to look into as well. If you are getting additional footage besides, you walking around and just talking to the camera, if you are getting like scenic shots, then looking into licensing your content might also be something to consider as well. But those are, off the fly here, just as a quick brainstorm. Those are, some of the options that I would, think about for you. But really quick, I'm actually going to look into one of these descriptions, and I'm just going to see what you currently have down here. Oh, okay. So really quick also, this is another thing I just have to mention this, because if I don't, I'm doing you a disservice. So you see what you're doing here, where you say kids playing in the beach in the Philippines, Philippines travel 2022, Philippines travel vlog, blah, blah, blah. So this is actually called tag stuffing. YouTube has a place when you're uploading your videos for adding tags, and it's okay to add hashtags as a group like this. But when it comes to just stuffing a bunch of tags into your tags or keyword phrases into your description like this, it's actually against the terms of service, and you can get a community guideline strike for this. So if you're doing this in a lot of your videos, keep in mind that, 3 of those and your channel's over. So I would go through all of your descriptions where you're doing this, and I would write an actual description. And if you want to include more of those, keywords and keyword phrases, just write it all out in natural language. So it's not like this word, this phrase, this phrase, this phrase. And then that way you'll be, a little bit more compliant. Still riding the risk if you push it, too hard, but you'll be a little bit more compliant with YouTube there as well. So we're going to do another one. I wish I could have added more to that one, but because it was, a lot more scattered in content, it was, a little bit more difficult to do. And again, for those of you that are just joining us, this stream is brought to you by Uscreen. Uscreen, just so you know, is a website where you can upload your content. You can do it as like a course, or you can also do it where you upload just content, right? Like regardless of the type of content that you make, and you can have like your own like Netflix there. So you can see here some of the other creators that make it. They have it for like art channels, yoga channels. Mr. Beast and Dara Leaves actually use them for their Vid Summit replays. You have entertainment content here, more entertainment content. You have, dance studios, that kind of stuff. But, depending on the cooking channels, so depending on the type of content that you make, you can create a recurring income from uploading your content to Uscreen. So keep in mind with Uscreen, it is a, paid service, but the idea is that, through that paid service, you're able to create an asset for yourself to where people pay a monthly fee to get access to the content that you put in there. And then that's how you actually end up getting a return on your investment for being a part of the service. So that's what's going on there. I'm actually working on something for that myself. So, that'll be coming out relatively soon as well. Max World Entertainment, thank you for the super chat. Glad that you are enjoying the content. So we are going to do the same exact thing here. We're going to pull up the tool, and we are going to, I need a way to be able to do that a little bit more efficiently. Maybe I could just open up a bunch of windows, maybe just kind of talking out loud here. Princess Chelsea Starling, what's going on? Hope that you are doing fantastic. Says, how do you use, okay, this is good. It's related to the topic here. Says, how do you use product affiliate links? I don't know how to. I review makeup and clothing. Great question. So, and I'm glad you asked this because it allows me to add this information to, everybody here that's not even familiar. When I talk about affiliate marketing, like, what is that even? So when it comes to adding product links to your videos, what you do is the products and services that you already use as a content creator, and things like, one thing that I want to add to this is you also want to make sure that you are kind of qualifying what you're promoting for your audience. So as content creators, one of the things that we naturally do, for me, it makes sense because you guys are content creators, but one of the things that content creators will typically do is they'll put a list, starting out as an affiliate, they'll put a list of items that they use to make their YouTube videos down in the description, which is better than nothing because some people will click on those just out of curiosity. But the thing that you really want to think about is you want to think about, okay, if somebody is going to purchase something, or if I want higher conversions, then in that particular case, I need to make sure that the things that I link down in my description are a prime fit for the people that I am in front of with my content. So in your case, it would be, people that are interested in, makeup and, things like that. And because of that, you want to make sure that you're showcasing products like that, right? But what the product links are is you go to Amazon, you sign up for their affiliate program. If you just go to Google and you type in Amazon affiliate program or Amazon Associates, then you're going to see the option for that, and you sign up there. Walmart also has options. You might also, because you're in the space, so you might know very specific makeup shops that people use. For example, people that are into like watch collecting, there's very specific trusted sites in that industry that people will often link to if they want to go and buy like, a $20,000 Rolex, right? So like if you know about sites like that within your space, then in that case, you might want to link to those if those are like really popular, sites and trusted sites in the space. But if not, then in that case, just linking to Amazon can be a win. But basically what you do for any affiliate program, some will approve you instantly. Some you have to actually get approved. Like they have, qualifications. In some cases, it's a certain follower count. It's usually pretty low though, but it's a certain follower count, or you have to have a website or, something like that. But what you do is you go to Google and you type in, like in your case, you could just go Amazon affiliate program or Amazon associates program, Amazon partner program, or you could also put in, makeup affiliate programs and just see what comes up. And then in that case, what you do is you sign up for the different programs, and then you will get a link that is unique to you through that program. If you're doing it on Amazon, then you get a link for each individual product that you're bringing attention to. And then you'll also get a link to your Amazon store. So you can just say, hey, these are all of the things that I use and recommend. And then you put that in your description just as one link. And then people can go there and they can just see like a whole list of, things that you use and recommend. But with Amazon, you just grab those links and then you just put them in your video description. Now, keep in mind, if you are going to be an Amazon associate and you need to look into the requirements for other affiliate programs that you decide to use for everyone here, regardless of the content that you make, because Amazon specifically has language that you need to put in your video description that's something along the lines of, I'm an Amazon associate, and if you click on one of these links and make a purchase, I'll earn a commission. And then after that, you do not want to say anything like, this helps support the channel or anything like that, because they look at that as incentivization, and you can actually lose your Amazon affiliate account when you add that type of language, right? You want it to just be pretty bare bones on the exact language that you use, but they have a very specific things that you need to include in that language. So you need to make sure that you're looking for that. But the idea, go to Amazon, sign up for their affiliate program, or go to like Walmart and sign up for theirs, or anywhere else based on, the type of content that anybody here makes, and sign up for their affiliate programs. You'll get that link, put that link in your description, and then start letting people know that those links are down there. So for example, there's a couple of different ways when it comes to affiliate marketing in general through your YouTube videos that you can approach this. One is a passive approach. The other one is an active approach. Passive approach is where you just have them down in your description. You don't really do much. I have a friend of mine that doesn't mention that he even has things available in his video description, and he makes this isn't from affiliate marketing. This is from his own products that he's created, but he makes $2,000 a week from people just going and looking in his video description and clicking on these links. Keep in mind, he gets a lot of views on his videos, but he doesn't even push people down there, and they still buy his stuff a lot. So there's the passive side, which is that, but then you have the active side, which is where you're being more intentional about bringing attention to those links. And that is simply by letting people know, hey, I've got links in my description, of a bunch of things that'll help you out, or a bunch of things that might be of interest to you, or something along those lines. You can also, on the more intentional side, you can also make videos that are specific to bringing attention to products as well. Like review videos and things like that, or list videos where it's like, the top 10, in your case, because you talk about makeup, the top 10, top 10, I don't know if makeup brands would be the right thing. I'm not like a makeup guy. So if you can't tell, right? But like, I used to be, first video wore makeup, first few handful of videos. But anyway, like the, first, or top 10 foundations, top 5 foundations that everybody needs in their makeup toolkit, right? And then in that case, the intention of the person clicking on that video is to discover, possibly some new things that they're not aware of currently. And then by bringing attention to those things, you let them know that the links are down in the description. And then as they find them, they're like, oh, wow, that sounds pretty nice. Then they'll go down to your video description, they'll click on those links, and then some of those people watching your videos will make a purchase and you'll earn a commission from it. So that's kind of how that whole thing works on the affiliate side. So let's keep on trucking here. So our next hashtag is going to be Uscreen87. So if you want your channel pulled up, this is randomly selecting channels for us to look at here. So if you want your channel pulled up and you want to kind of get your name in the pool of, having your channel pulled here, then put in Uscreen87, and then it's going to count them, and then we'll spin this thing here in a minute, and we'll see, what we can do for you. So one thing while we're waiting for these to come in, so when it comes to making money, T's Hot Mess History, thanks for that. Says Nick is a natural beauty. He needs no makeup. I actually, first handful of videos I wore makeup. When I first started, I was like, news people wear makeup. So because of that, let me cover blemishes, all that stuff, cover all the stuff that makes me human, essentially. And I wore like concealer and foundation just to kind of even out skin tones and stuff. My first handful of videos, because I was foolish and didn't realize that like just you being you is like a huge part of, being a content creator. And eventually I was like, we'll just go with, all natural. Okay, so we're at 96 entries, counting it down, 5, 4, giving people, just a couple more seconds here to get theirs in. 3, 2, and 1. Here we go. And we have slow it down. Who's it gonna be? Daily Outdoors. So Daily Outdoors, if you could just go ahead and mention, just say something here in the chat just to help me find you a little bit easier. I'm gonna look for you here also while I'm waiting for that to come in. And just as a heads up, just in case you've joined the show late today, what we're doing is we are looking at channels and we are trying to uncover, just brainstorm essentially, different ways that they can monetize their content based on the typical ways that content creators, monetize what it is that they're doing. So let's see here. I'm looking for this one. Daily Outdoors. Might be easier for me to just go to YouTube and actually just look for it. Let's try that. Daily Outdoors. There it is. Boom. Yeah, let's do it that way. That's easy. Okay. Hope this is the right channel. Okay. 10,000 subscribers. Fantastic. You're like primed right here for this information because you're already going, you got a following already, like you're in motion. So you're, you're primed for this. So, okay. So enjoying the outdoors shouldn't cost the earth. Fantastic. Absolutely love it. So let's see here. What do we got? My first sleep in Mimo Fortnite sleeping bag. The perfect tent does not exist. Oh yeah. I'm going to look in your descriptions. I'm assuming you're affiliate marketing already, but we'll get into some other stuff here also, but I'm assuming, that you're already taking that on. Let me check here though, just to make sure. Okay, recommended gear. Okay, so you are. See this right here. So how we were talking about the links before, let me just bring this to everybody's attention just so you can see what this looks like. So in his case, you can see that he has here where he has Amazon affiliate links going out. This is where he's grabbed each individual product. And then right here, he's also, because we've talked a lot about Amazon, but we haven't talked about other services that much. I've mentioned Walmart, but you can see here how he's connected with this, let's see here, this tent company, it looks like, and they have an affiliate program. And through that affiliate program, and this also, he might be doing this as a sponsor too. I'm not sure exactly what's going on with that link because some sponsors will do that. But here he's also connected with them to, as their affiliate program as well. So one thing just to make sure that you are aware of is if you are doing something like he's doing right here, where he's my first sleep in this tent, he's essentially reviewing the tent, right? Kind of in a subtle way. So when you're doing things like that, where you think this particular video, because it's a review or something like that, might be something that people are most likely going to end up making some purchases off of this, then in that particular case, having an Amazon option is great to where they can have the option to get it from the store or from Amazon. But typically the websites themselves will pay a higher commission for it because Amazon pays a really small amount of money for, for what it is that you bring attention to. So you want to, try to connect with the companies if they have an affiliate program, but they don't always. But right here out of the gate, he is, he's doing the affiliate marketing, which is great. But one thing that you are missing, and I just want to bring this to your attention so that you can make sure that you get this in place for your own sake, is right down here in your disclaimer, you say that some of my links above generate a tiny commission. This is at no extra cost to you, but it does help support the channel, so thank you. So when it comes to Amazon, and I've actually had 2 friends lose their Amazon account over this, which is why I know that this is a thing. So you have all these Amazon links right here, but you don't have anything down here saying that you're an Amazon associate. And you also have this very specific language here where you say, but it does really help to support the channel, so thank you. So Amazon looks at this right here as incentivization, and you can actually lose your affiliate program. And all of those links, you would have to take them out of your description and all of that, or they would just be where you wouldn't get a cut of it. But you can lose whatever income you're generating from Amazon if you don't get that description in there. So make sure that you do that when you get the chance, that you do add that. So most likely, unless you're just crushing them with sales, it's going to take them a while for them to, run into that, through them just reviewing their affiliates and stuff. But I would get it in there when you get the chance so you can make sure that you're, just being compliant and you don't have to, run the risk there. But that's what we have for his so far. So we've got the affiliate side of things. So one thing that I don't see down here is if you have any merch available. Hold on, stocks are slow. Find the bag if you Google around. All the time publishing, it's in stock. Stocks are low. Okay, so this is more. Oh, okay, these are more places, I guess. Okay, that's good. To help people find it. So I guess this is something that's in really high demand. So one thing that I would also add to your, to your tool set here, your monetization set, I should say, is in your case specifically. I'll actually go through these in order. So we've got affiliate marketing taken care of. So then next, let's talk about digital products and digital products, courses, downloads, that kind of stuff. So first, benefits of getting outside, which is best for camping. Shop with me. Do this before you camp. So this whole thing is just camping in the wild. This is great. So here, one thing that you might want to just think about in terms of your own products, and this is going to go into downloads, is if you do have, campers, which you do, doing or watching your content. So they make these, and I've seen them in outdoor stores, to where you can buy like checklists of sorts of like, hey, I'm going on this camping trip. I got to make sure I've got this. I got to make sure I've got this. Got to make sure I've got this. Got to make sure I've got this. So if you have something like that available, some of the people that are, really engaged in your content, that really enjoy you and the value that you bring, some of those people will buy that. Some people that aren't even engaged in what it is that you're doing, but they happen to watch the video and they saw your little graphic pop up that you have it, or you just let them know that you have it in the video. Some of those people will buy it as well. And really, this doesn't even take a lot of work. So in your particular case, what you'd want to do is you would put together a checklist of looks like I'm going to have to use somebody's Amazon link to buy a microphone stand. But you would use somebody's, or not use somebody's microphone link. What am I talking about? Okay, so what you would do is you would create a image of sorts in Canva or Photoshop. I'm not sure what you're making your thumbnails with, but you could probably make it in that. And you would create that, and you would make multiple versions of it. Technically, it could be like, hey, if you're going on like a weekend trip, take this stuff. If you're going on like a month-long camping trip, take this. If you're just going for a night, take this. That kind of stuff. Then in that particular case, you can put together like a whole kit of checklists for people, to where it could be like, hey, if you're going on a camping trip, make sure you are, that you use this checklist to make sure you're taking everything you need. Because one thing that you might assume, just like I do with my content, is that people that are camping already know all the stuff, right? So because of that, you have to just remember that, there's a lot of people that are either just getting into camping, or people that haven't camped in a while, or that there's just a lot of new things available, that they need to, or that they can be brought, or that can be brought to their attention. And because of that, if you make some type of like checklist or just some type of guides for them, and you make them available for a small fee, then people will buy those, and you'll be able to, add to your bottom line, with the income that you're generating from your YouTube channel through that. In addition to that, another thing that you might be able to do here is, I'm going to guess, man, if you're camping, you're probably going to a lot of really cool places. So if you're going to a lot of really cool places, then one of the things that you can also do is you can put together guides on the places that you go to. So this is common in travel channels. A lot of, travel channels do this, but you're camping. And if you're going to, I'm just going to have to hold this thing, I think. If you're going to, I feel like a TikToker now, holding my microphone up here to my mouth. But if you are going, to a bunch of these different places, then you can put together guides for each individual place that you go. So for example, let's say that you go to some park somewhere, and first you have like, hey, if you're going to be camping here, you're probably going to be wandering around the area, at least in the places where you would wander around the area. And in that particular case, you could say like, hey, these are the trails that I recommend. Here's like my guide, essentially, of this area, where I break down the trails. I show like the best camping spots. I show the, camping spots that you haven't really enjoyed or that you would typically avoid, so that they can avoid those. Show them like, hey, this is kind of like an overview of the area. You can get this map there. But, this is my version of it, where it's like, hey, this is the best store to get these things, within the campgrounds, those type of things. But basically anything in your brain that you're like, hey, if I hadn't been here before, this would be super, super useful for me. While you're going on these trips, just write that stuff down. And then when you get home, you can put together guides for each individual location that you go to, and people will buy those too. And then you can also try to make some general versions just for, people that are going on like general camping trips and stuff, for them, just so that they can make sure they have everything they need. And you can also give them their, your top places that you recommend they camp based on, your experience as a camper, if you're going to a bunch of different locations. But if you're not going to a bunch of different locations, then I would at the very least make a guide for the places that you go to the most. Next on our list, there's probably a lot more stuff that you can make for people that are into camping, by the way. Those are just some things off the top of my head. Because like I said, I'm doing this on the fly. So these are just things that come to my brain while I'm, sitting here. But one thing that I would also do in your case is I would hop on Amazon. And this is going to sound shady, but it's something that you could do. I would hop on Amazon and I would look around for things like I just mentioned, like, camping, and then look for anything that people, any type of like little charts, any type of like little things that people use for camping that you could remake, not making the same exact, one that looks like theirs, but making your own version and your own style with your own branding on it and all that stuff, so that you could also make that stuff available as well. And that could also come down to like journals, like, your audience better than I do, but I'm going to guess if somebody's going on a camping trip, hopefully they're not spending, the entire time on their phone. They might use it for introspection or, something like that. So, making, those types of things like, hey, here's a journal. So when I go out, anytime I go camping, I like to journal. And this is a PDF that I made that's perfectly sized for an iPad. So you can take that with you if you want, and you can, journal. Or I have this available as a print on demand on Amazon, and you can go to Amazon, put like a little cover on it, you can make it on, in Photoshop or Canva, put a cover on it and make it available as a print on demand, just like the print on demand books on Amazon, where people can also get your little, guidebooks and, that kind of stuff there. So just some food for thought there. And then on the physical products, since you're in the camping world, technically, once you start like really taking off here, another thing you can do as well is you can also start thinking of like, what camping gear could I make? Right? Like start looking around and sourcing stuff. I saw you actually had in your description, you had AliExpress as one of the items that you had in your description. So one of the things that you can also do is you can go through, I think it's Alibaba. You'd need to look into like Amazon FBA and that kind of stuff to get a better understanding of exactly what to do here. But the idea is going to like Alibaba, finding the creators of, certain products that you can essentially white label for yourself with your own branding on them, and then make those available for your audience. So technically your own tents, your own little camping chairs, your own, anything people use for camping. And you could essentially, and this is like, bigger game here, but you could essentially make your own line of camping products that you could use your YouTube channel as kind of like top of funnel for your camping product business as well, right? So that's like a, a bigger thing, and it would require investment. So save your YouTube money and, and invest in, that kind of stuff, just to kind of, really capitalize on the opportunity that you have. Because with the content that you're making, like you could really do well on this. The next thing, of course, providing services based on your skill sets. I wouldn't do that with your type of content. With your type of content, I would actually focus on the more passive items, to where it's like, hey, I make it and then I make it available for people, versus, like providing like a product or service of some kind, a service of some kind. And the reason for that is, you don't want to be hopping on the phone being like a guide to people, all the time or anything like that. So I would just focus on the more passive, type items. Courses, I don't think also would be a great fit for you, unless, you made video guides for the different areas that you went to and then made them available for a fee as well. Come on, microphone stand. So that, might be something to look into, but I really don't think it would be I think the best use of your time would be looking for like, what could I make that people could download off of my YouTube channel? And the way that you'd want to do this is you can set up a Shopify store for all the different downloads that you offer. And then through that Shopify store, you could send people just one link to where it's like, hey, go to my store, and then you can get all the downloads there, and then they can, download everything through your Shopify store. So that would be the approach, that you could take there. And technically, once you figured out the things that, and we're going kind of high level here, but one of the things that you could also do is like, once you figure out the products that people typically buy the most from you in terms of the things that people are the most interested in, then in that case, you could start running ads for those things in order to bring even more attention to your Shopify store and more attention to those particular products to like really get the most out of what it is that you're doing. Next thing, of course, is merch. I would definitely make some fun camping merch for what it is that you're doing. You've got 10,000 subscribers now. You're getting some, good average view counts on your videos. I would definitely make some merch based on things that people that like to camp would enjoy. Statements about the outdoors. Like, for example, even enjoying the outdoors shouldn't cost the earth. That statement by itself is pretty huge. So even having, just text, enjoying the outdoors shouldn't cost the earth. And then like your logo real small, like underneath it, right? Or on top of it, either one. But the idea is to, just come up with some cool phrases like that. Some, things that are, like earth friendly, something like that. Oh, you got a website. Let's see what you got going on over here. You might be doing everything I'm talking about already. So I should look at your website here just to make sure. But but I would definitely, put together some merch in your case as well. You can set all that up for free through Spreadshop. They also have like a consulting service over there to where you can like hit them up and be like, hey, trying to put some merch together. What's the best strategies for it and all that. And then of course, sponsorships. I would definitely look into that as well. So one thing that you can do as a content creator is you can put together a media kit. And anytime, like if you're not already, have a Twitter account, have a LinkedIn account. And when you make a video about these like tent companies, if you're not sponsored already by them, post your video onto Twitter and at the company, right? Mention like, hey, I made this video about, blah, blah, blah's tent, at, Twitter handles, tent. Hope, I liked it, but, check it out, so you can get your thoughts, whatever. And then with that particular content, also do the same exact thing on LinkedIn, start connecting with the people on LinkedIn at some of these companies that you are wanting to get sponsorships from, and just make sure that you're tagging the company and then that you are connecting with those people so that, your stuff can also possibly show up in their feed, but more so when they're tagged, somebody on that company will see that you're already making content about their products. And that is like a covert way to put yourself on the radar of companies. So, there's the version of like, hey, I'm going to send media kits through email and try to, put myself on the map that way. And that's also effective. But when you can put a video in front of somebody and you can say, I've already made a video about your product, and they can see the quality, they can see like how it does, they can see that you're getting view counts from it and all of that, then that's like one level up in terms of like, okay, this is somebody that we might want to work with when we start doing influencer campaigns or on our next round of influencer campaigns. Okay. And then content licensing. So with content licensing, because you're going into the middle of the woods, you could probably do that, but I would just focus on the other things that I was talking about. So I'd focus on sponsorships, affiliate marketing, the downloads that we were talking about, that's big. And then kind of mapping out like a long game of having your own line of outdoor stuff. But let me hit your website. Wait a minute. Am I on your YouTube channel? Oh, no, I'm on your website. Okay. Product reviews. Okay. So this is just sorting essentially for your stuff. Okay. So one more thing. You have product reviews here. So I'm guessing that, yeah, this is where people can send them to you. Really? Like I would do this, but I think you're also costing yourself opportunities here. It's keeping you from buying stuff, which is a win. But down the road, you're probably going to want to stop doing this and start making it to where they have to pay you to get in front of your audience. Because one thing that is important to understand for everybody here as a content creator is that as a content creator, what you do is valuable to the companies that you are working with, right? So like in your case, right, if you can get their product in front of like 2,000 people that are primed for that product, they're going to make some sales off of it, right? If you get them in front of, I know like some of your videos you've got, let's go to your most popular, 76,000 views on a video you made 9 months ago. So people bought, and I'm sure you see this in your Amazon stats as well and your other affiliate stats, like people are buying this stuff. So because of that, you have data from people buying, through your affiliate links that you have already. And you can also present that to some of these companies, like the companies that you're selling the most of, hit them up and see if you can also work out some type of sponsorships, even if it's small, on top. Like if they're like, hey, yeah, we're willing to do that, but we don't have like a huge budget for it. Be like, okay, then let's make it like a lower amount, but let me keep all of my affiliate links as well. So then that way it kind of prioritizes your products and, those types of things. So we're going to move on to another one here. But hopefully that helped in some way with your particular channel and your type of content. And by the way, for everybody else, just as a reminder, like when I'm looking at these, if I'm looking at another channel, it's really helpful to just be like, okay, I'm going to have, a notepad open. If you're a TubeSpanner user, just open that, with your notepad and just be like, hey, I'm going to, be taking notes and all the different things that he's recommending here to some of these other channels. I'm going to see if any of these apply to what it is that I'm doing. And I encourage you to think big, right? Because when it comes to YouTube, the opportunities here are staggering. It's like, I want to remind you that content creators make, hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars off of affiliate marketing on YouTube. Content creators make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars off of their products and services that they offer. Content creators make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars off of their sponsorships that they get. Content creators make hundreds of thousands and millions of dollars off of the products that they create, right? Like the physical products they create, like all these different things that I'm, trying to bring attention to. Content creators make staggering amounts of money, like life-changing money from this stuff. So take notes and think with every channel that we look at, how can I apply some of this to what it is that I'm doing, right? So let's see here. So the next one we're going to do here, we're going to pull up another one. Let me close these down. Let me get my tool here primed and ready. Go to giveaways. I just need to make this a quick bookmark link, and that'll make it easier for me in the future. And then we got use screen. Okay, so our next one that we're going to do is use screen 33. So if you want your channel pulled up, this tool is randomizing the channel that we pull up just so it's fair for everyone. So the qualifiers for this are that you have to upload recently. If you uploaded if you haven't uploaded in a month, then, we'll do this again when you're uploading on a regular basis. But the channel has to be doing that. And it also needs to be a channel where there is some type of theme, right? So the reason for that, it just makes it easier, right, for you to monetize. So it needs to be a channel that has some type of theme, even if it's a loose one. And it needs to be content that's been uploaded, at least within the last month, right? Within the last 3 weeks. So right now we're at 77, giving people a little bit more time here to get in a few more entries. And keep in mind, when you put an entry in one time, it just counts. Even if you keep putting it in, it just counts at once. So because of that, you just only need to put it in one time, and you'll be counted there. So if you're just joining us, what we're doing is we're talking about all the different ways that content creators can make money from their content. And I'm actually pulling up channels, and we're looking at the channels. We're just brainstorming, trying to think of ways that they can make money from what they're doing. And this whole thing is made possible by Uscreen. Uscreen is a online platform where you can turn your content into your own Netflix. And you can do this for course type material, but you can also add entertainment content here. You can add different cuts of what it is that you do here. You can add exclusive content here, and you can charge a monthly fee for people to get that course material or to get that additional content from you. A lot of content creators are making a lot of money with this particular method. And I'm actually working on a project that I'm going to be putting on here as well for content creators. But the idea is that when you sign up with Uscreen, you pay a fee to them, and then they have all the infrastructure in place to where you upload videos in there, and you can have live streams that you do for your community. You can have apps so that people can consume your content anywhere within your platform inside of your own personalized app that you make available. Really cool service. A lot of content creators are making a lot of money over there. So I just want to I want to bring that to your attention. I got a link to them down in the description, of course, but I want to thank them for making this stream possible and agreeing to it when I reached out. So I'm going to give you guys just a few more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
Okay, so we got John R. Pettigrew. So John, if you could just go ahead and put your channel, just say something. You can say hey in the chat. I'm going to look for you here. And while I'm looking for you, just if you could just drop just say hey, and then we will get you pulled up here as well. And we'll see what we can do for you. Let's see. Looking for John here in the chat. Looking for John. You know what? I can probably just go Control F. John R. Pettigrew. Got you, John. Okay, you're doing type beats. Okay, so this one's going to be a little bit challenging in terms of the other things that I was talking about, like affiliate marketing and stuff like that, but you can still do it. So, okay, 5 days ago. Perfect. So first off, I make beats too. So high five and fist bump to you for being a music producer of some kind and just creative. But second, So first off, just as a heads up, yeah, you're already selling beats on BeatStars, which is one of the things I was going to recommend for you specifically. So for those of you that are hanging out here, if you don't know what a tight beat channel is, so basically what this is, you know, for people that are like, let's say you're a rapper, you're a singer, and you want to find a beat that's like somebody's, you know, beat, like let's say like Drake or whatever superstar that, you know, that you like their music. If you want to find like music like theirs, then you hop on YouTube and you look for tight beats. So it'd be like a Drake type beat or like a Gucci Mane type beat or something like that. And then what's going to happen is you're going to see like search results of, you know, a bunch of these different beats that are similar to those beats. And what happens is content creators or music producers will make music, and then they will use these to bring attention to that music, and then they will sell them through services like BeatStars. So in this particular case with them, one thing that, you know, I would definitely do if you're not doing it already is, and I'm actually going to click on this so I can see, and I'm just going to kind of skip through here. Okay. So one thing that you might want to consider in your case is, you know, if the music you're making, you know, as your channel grows and as people, you know, hop on board and as you just get better and better, you know, making music, then one of the things that you can also do, of course, and I'm sure you're aware of this, but I'm just sharing it with you anyway. This isn't from our normal list of ways that content creators monetize, by the way, for everybody that's here. But one thing that they can do is they can actually put like a little link with maybe like a QR, or not a link, but like a little thing right here for like a listen on Spotify, and they can upload their content to something like DistroKid, and through that, make sure you're careful in the settings there, because you can make it to where like your YouTube channel will get dinged and all of that, you know, based on how you're doing it. So you got to be careful when you're doing this, you know, as a music person. But basically, you upload your music to Spotify through like DistroKid or one of those services. TuneCore, I think, is another one. And then what happens is through them, you can have people streaming your music on Spotify, Apple Music, and all of those. So in your case, as your channel grows, you're using the content to sell the beats, but then you can also have those beats available, or just other beats available, through your artist name, which in this case would be John Pettigrew, through your artist name on Spotify. So let's say, for example, if you're making like lo-fi, then in that case, you could say like, hey, here's some lo-fi stuff. And then people that are into lo-fi might run across your music, and then you'll start getting, it's really small, like crazy small for the payouts. Like you have to get a ton of streams for it to like, you know, be worth, you know, really anything. But it's just an additional way to start adding to that bottom line, because small amounts over time add up to large amounts, right? So, so I would definitely make sure that you are considering that if you're not doing it already. But another thing, hold on, Profit Beats. Okay, so we've got this. Buy or lease if you want to sell this beat with vocals. Leases start at $17.99. You'll get a zipped folder. Okay, you've got all this. So another thing that you might want to consider as well, just as part of the things that you add to your video description for the people that, you know, really like your music, is I would also offer, like, I haven't listened to this, so I'm not sure like what the sound quality is like, but if you're really good at mixing, then offering mixing as a service, you know, is something that you might also want to add here. So this would be like, you know, on the service side of things. If you're good at mastering music, offering mixing and mastering as a service, having those available, offering custom music to where it's like, hey, if you want something custom, hit me up here. It's going to cost you more because I'm building it from the ground up for you, but you know, I can also make custom music as well. And then you could do that technically, you know, through your own website. If you want to set that up, you could just kind of haggle it out through email. Excuse me. If you don't want to go through the process of building websites or anything like that, technically you could even throw that kind of service up on like Fiverr or something like that, but go into the pro side where you can charge more money for it, that type of, you know, thing. So in your particular case, because of the type of content you make, those are really the only things that you would really be able, that I can think of right now, that you'd really be able to leverage for this type of content. So I would definitely make sure that you are doing all of those things so that every song that you make, as you're putting it out there, you can, you know, kind of milk the most out of, you know, each individual song that you put out. So I would definitely make sure that you, do that. And since you're making this stuff, like you're already doing it in your YouTube shorts. So since you're making this stuff, just as another way to do this, like having a personality channel to where you're teaching people, because you're using Fruity Loops here. So having a personality channel where you're bringing attention to your music through showing people how to make music in Fruity Loops, you might want to consider that as well. So then you have your beat channel to where you're making money on your beat channel through, all the different things that we talked about there. And then you have your channel where you're teaching people how to use Fruity Loops even as you're learning it. So keep in mind, as you're learning something, you can teach people all the things that you've learned previously. So for example, you're already to the point where you can make beats that you're uploading to YouTube. So because of that, you can make videos showing people like how to set up Fruity Loops, how to, add tracks in Fruity Loops, how to, do some advanced settings in Fruity Loops, those types of things, in order to create another YouTube channel to where you can monetize it in other ways through creating courses down the road. And this is like a long game approach, right? For like making money from YouTube. But basically that other channel would be for the purpose of being able to tap into some of these other things like courses and sponsorships, where you'll be able to have companies sending you gear, to showcase and things like that. But I would consider with what it is that you're doing so that you can also use that to bring attention to this, that you also have a channel where you're actually teaching people about it as well. So, so hopefully some of that was helpful. I know that for everybody else, that isn't the typical type of, thing that we do here. For most of the channels here, you're not going to be able to tap into that. But I just wanted to, make sure to mention it. They came up. So, we got to talk about them and the niche that they're in, right? So hopefully that was helpful, John. Let's see here. Okay, next hashtag, I'm going to go ahead and get this on screen now, is Uscreen is the best for sponsoring this content right here. So Uscreen is the best is our hashtag. So go ahead and get that in there if you want your channel looked at and you want to go through this. So John says that their computer is not powerful enough to screen record FL Studio. They would love to. Thanks for the advice as always. So all you got to do in this situation, John, is just look at where you're at right now and say like, hey, right now the computer's not powerful enough. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, try to, work, or I'm going to try to, save money in some way so that I can slowly start putting money aside to get a better computer and then just start working your way up. Right. So that's part of the grind, part of the hustle, so to speak, of, getting those, getting all the stuff that, that you want out of your efforts. So just start saving your money and then slowly, as finances allow, slowly, upgrade your computer. Even if it's putting aside $10 a week, over time, that $10 is going to add up to where you'll be able to, upgrade your stuff to where you can, do those things. Let's see here. So keep in mind though, John, also the software that I'm using right now, it's called Streamyard to do this stream that you're looking at. It's called Streamyard. So they also have an option to where you can record and you can share the screen just like I am right now. And you can do full screen shares like this, and it actually records it in the background, but they have a record only option where you can do it that way as well, just as one option for you there. So we're at 82 entries. I'm going to give you just a few more seconds here to get it into there. And if you're just joining us, we're looking at YouTube channels. So these channel reviews aren't about like YouTube best practices. These YouTube reviews are brainstorming what different channels can do in different niches to make money from the content, or make more money from the content that they're already making on their YouTube channels. So I'm going to go ahead and spin this in 3, 2, 1, go. Yes, John, it is available on the cloud. So like that's one of the biggest, it's got a lot of advantages, but that's one of the biggest advantages for me because my internet's all weird over here. So since my internet's weird, sometimes I'll just have, and my electricity is weird. So I'll have like these weird, I'm in Thailand. So I'll have these like little glitches and it'll like knock out my power. It'll knock out my internet sometimes. So since StreamYard keeps everything open for me in the cloud, it makes it easy for me to hop in on my phone or, to kind of reset everything while the stream's still going. And the same thing applies for the recording side as well. So it's just seeing your screen in the cloud, but it doesn't add more labor to your computer. So it might be something you want to look into. So let's see here. So this is Ignatius. So I'm looking for this one here as well. Detours, Jeff, what's up, dude? Hope you're doing awesome. So let me just hit the find button and just go to Ignatius. And let me go up here. Okay, found them. Go to channel. Okay. So let's see here. See what we got. So let's see here. So you're at 355 subscribers right now. You haven't uploaded in 8 months. Okay. Yeah, so in your particular case, because I have a qualifier here that you have to upload, recently. So in your case, like you haven't uploaded in 8 months. So I apologize, but I'm going to actually have to take this one down and give somebody else a shot. Just because, like if you're not uploading videos, the information that I'm sharing isn't really going to help you. But it will help the people that are, currently uploading. So let me go back here. Gosh, that's so much more efficient just doing it that way. Okay. So our next hashtag is Uscreen77.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
Uscreen77. And for those of you that are just joining the stream, the reason I'm using Uscreen77 is because this stream is made possible yet by Uscreen. Uscreen.tv is their website, but they are a video on demand service. And it's it's kind of like your own Netflix. So you can drive people from your YouTube channel over to Uscreen, and you can make content available for them there. It can be course content. It can be, exclusive content that you only make available here. But the cool thing about this is you can charge a monthly fee for this, so that as, people come over and they get familiar with it, that they pay a monthly fee. It can be a small monthly fee or a big monthly fee. It's up to you. And then with that monthly fee, they get, regular content from you. So your most engaged viewers are the ones that would, come over here and participate in this. But this is something that a lot of types of content can actually tap into. They've got yoga channels, recipe channels. I know there are some gaming channels on here. They've got fitness channels, art channels, all kinds of different stuff that they highlight. There's actually one on here called Fader Pro that teaches people about music. Really, really awesome one. So, make sure that you check out Uscreen. I got a link to them down in the description, or you can Google Uscreen, or you can just go to uscreen.tv. So we're at 100. So I'm going to give you a few seconds here to pull up the next one. So we've got 5, 4, and I know there's a delay, so it's a little bit weird, but 3, 2, 1, and go.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with a friend right now.
Okay, so it looks like Spike Wade is our next one. Spike Wade, I got you coming up right here. Let me go to your channel. Okay, let's make sure that you are uploading recently as well. 6 days ago. Man, you're just coming in and you qualified. Okay, so you are doing new anime videos every day. So the content that you're putting out is anime content. I'll be honest, this one's going to be a challenge for me. Let's see here. So we got anime, facts you didn't know about anime. What if I never died? Yeah, so for this one, yeah, because you're kind of using other people's content to make this. So, yeah, I'm not really sure. The only thing that I can think of, like if you are showing something, hold on, the reputation. So maybe you're talking under this and you're doing like voiceover for this content, because I don't see you on here anywhere or anything like that. So I'm not really sure what it is that you're doing. But if possible, if they make any type of merchandise around these characters, and that merchandise is available for sale on Amazon or in any other outlet for people that collect anime related things, for the people that might watch this content, that would be the thing that I would do here. Is I would do affiliate marketing in this case. I would just look for merchandise related to this type of content, and I would make it available. I would sign up for the Amazon affiliate program or the affiliate programs of the companies that, make the merchandise. And then I would make it, oh, you are talking under it. Okay. And then I would make it available for them. I would also look around. I would hop on Google, and you know what? I'll just do it right now. So let's go here and look for, anime affiliate programs. And by the way, where it says here, anime affiliate programs, for everybody here to figure out affiliate programs for your niche, just replace anime for whatever type of content you make. But I'm doing anime just because I'm not sure what they do. But yeah, so it looks like there are a decent amount of, anime affiliate programs here. So you might want to look into these. We got 17 best anime affiliate programs. I would look into some of these and see if you can uncover anything that you can bring attention to as an affiliate in your anime content. Be careful though, just as a heads up. I know you're doing compilations, but just be careful making, like we're one law change away from people not being able to use, content, from other people. So because of that, I'd be trying to think of, something unique that you can offer as well, if possible. Because that type of content is okay for now, but just like we saw, the rule change on language and the impact that had on some people, things like that are going to happen. We're actually dealing with something. I'm going to be talking about it here. I'm making a video about it that's going to be published, I think, this coming week, about something called Section 230, which is a attack on YouTube, a legal attack on YouTube's recommendation systems that could change the game in a negative way for everybody that's on YouTube. So make sure you keep an eye out for that particular video, because it's kind of scary for people that do this for a living. It's kind of scary. But yeah, so in your case, I would really just focus on the affiliate side for that particular type of content that you're making, because I would recommend that you could also do merch. But when it comes to merch with anime, because everything that you're doing is copyright protected, then you can't really take like their faces and things like that and make like your own merch from it. So, unless you were having like your own unique anime made and your own unique anime merch made, which would require your own cartoons, would require a substantial budget. So I'm going to assume that you're probably not doing that in order to be able to like really capitalize on merch. Yeah. So this one, Brian, this one, Section 230 is different because it's actually stemming from a lawsuit. It's Gonzalez versus Google is the lawsuit. And this particular lawsuit, it's actually being elevated to the Supreme Court. And it's somebody that is suing YouTube for recommending content to them that they were like offended by or whatever. So because of that, they are possibly going to mess with YouTube's recommendation system, and not just YouTube, every platform on the internet, every platform that's connected to the internet that shows content to people in the United States or recommends anything to people is actually at risk here. So it's a pretty crazy thing, but we'll be talking, we'll be talking about that in that video later this week. Or I'm sorry, next week. So with this particular live stream, because we've been going for like an hour and 25 minutes now, so I'm just going to do a quick Q&A here before we head off. So when it comes to YouTube and making money from your YouTube channels, does anybody have any specific questions? If you do, just put a Q in front of your question and I'll answer I'll answer a handful of questions before we head off. But basically, if you have a question about, affiliate marketing or, digital products, anything like that, go ahead and drop your questions in the chat now. Just make sure you put a Q in front of the question so that I know, the question is directed at me and that it's not just a side conversation in the comments. And if no questions come in, that's also, cool. Okay. So Zier says, how can I make money from my gaming channel? So right out of the gate, you have on-platform monetization, which means, all the different ways that you can make money on YouTube as a content creator in terms of, just ad revenue, super chats, once you qualify for that, channel memberships, once you qualify for that, those things. But then you also have, as a gamer, you have all the different things you use for your game. With those, you can't, you have the controllers that you use, you have the headsets that you use. If you have a gaming chair that you use and you love, you could promote that as an affiliate. Since you are a content creator and you are putting, your videos out there onto YouTube, you might also have other YouTube gaming creators that are watching your content to where, you can recommend your cameras to them, your microphones to them, your stream deck to them, anything it is that you use to put your stream together or to put your content together as a gamer, having those available in your description as an affiliate. So this is another one where going to Amazon and signing up for their affiliate program, or Walmart, or really just going and looking at like gaming affiliate programs, would be a good fit for that. There's also other things, for example, like you have like Nerd or Die. So if in your particular content, if you have a lot of other YouTube content creators that are also gamers that are, or even live streamers that are watching your content, then you can also sign up for like Nerd or Die's affiliate program. They sell like stream graphics and that kind of stuff. And you can, promote that as well, to where you just let people know it's in your video description. And the way that you do this is you don't, have to make the video just kind of cramming it on, somebody and like really being pushy about it. All you do is while you're playing the game, you mention the headset that you're using, or you mention, the controller that you're using, or the accessories that you've connected to your controller, or the case if you're doing like a console. Let's say you're doing a PS5 and you got one of the cool covers that you can get off of Amazon, to where instead of it being white, you change it to like gold, or you change it to camouflage or something like that. Then you can mention it like, hey, yeah, I changed, this sounds kind of crazy, but check out my PlayStation. I changed it to gold. But they also have all these other options, but I just chose gold for mine. You can get these on Amazon. I got links to them down in the description. And then with that, you just take that brief moment to highlight one of the different things that you use, and then you let them know that you have it down in the description. You don't have to highlight everything, just one thing. And then when they go down to your description, they're going to see stuff I use to make my videos, or stuff that I use to play this game, or however you title that particular section in your description. And just like if you look in my description now, this is a sneaky way to get you into my description. But if you look in my description right now, you're going to see I have a little section in there. It's like, other tools, or tools and resources I recommend, I think is the heading of it. But then I just have a little list, right? And it's like, these are, this is the tool and this is why I use it. So when it comes to you, same exact thing. These are the, this is the controller that I use. This is the accessories that I have for this controller, the skin I put on the controller, the little rubber grip that I put on the controller for my thumbs to, grip it better, whatever. Or, this is the keyboard that I use. These are, the fancy keyboard that I use that you see in my setup or whatever. And by doing those things, it brings attention to, or by just a quick mention on the one thing, it drives people into your description, and then they get to see all the other things as well, right? So that's the idea, is you pick the one thing that would appeal to the most people, and then you mention that, and then let them know that you have a link down in your description, and you just make it a quick mention. You don't have to, highlight it and spend a bunch of time on it. Kind of like I just did with the links down in my description. Let's see here really quick. Architectural Sheet Metal, thanks for the super chat. It says, doing product reviews, does upload schedule really matter? It does, because you still want to get your content up there to where your target audience, or the people that you're really trying to get to watch your videos, to where they are going to be the most likely to see it as fast as possible, so that YouTube can get the data that YouTube needs to understand who is and is not a good fit for your content, which will help them recommend it to the right people. So absolutely, yeah, upload time and, all that stuff definitely matters. But, just for like long-term performance, technically, no, like the time that you upload doesn't matter. But if you just want to teach the system quicker, then yeah, upload when people are online. But in terms of upload schedule, you still want to upload, consistently to YouTube, because one thing that YouTube says in their creator help area is that if you are not consistent, and by consistent, I mean that you have activity happening on your YouTube channel and you're just uploading on a regular basis. If you're not doing that, then YouTube will actually, your search rankings will drop, and your recommendations will drop over time. So because of that, you still want to make sure that you are uploading on a, somewhat consistent basis, so you can at least keep everything flowing as it should, so to speak, in terms of YouTube. Let's see here. So next question that we have, and I'm just scrolling back up here. Golden Threat, thank you for the super chat there. Super appreciate it. Says, thanks for helping up. Thanks for helping us, my ninja cheers. My pleasure. Let's see here. So we answered that one. Looking for another cue. Okay, so FPS RC Drift says, what goes into a media pack? Great question. So a media kit is where you can put, of course, you put all your artwork, you have it all branded, for your channel, but then you put your stats in terms of like your average view counts on your videos. You can even break that down by content type. So you can say, this is about the average views that I get on my shorts. These are about the average views I get on my live streams. These are about the average views that I get on my video content. That will help them better understand, exactly what it is that you have available and what's going to be the best fit for them based on average view counts, and just where you might be able to bring the best attention to them. So it's kind of like a menu. Here's my content. This is, my averages. Also, just some engagement numbers in terms of, I typically get about, this many comments, this many likes, that kind of stuff, because that helps them identify how engaged your audience is. Because some people get tons of views, but they don't have hardly any engagement at all, which means that if they are making content for a product, that people will see the video, but maybe they won't take, like, the recommendation that the content creator makes won't be as strong or won't be as well received. And because of that, the conversions will be lower because the community just isn't as engaged, which means they don't necessarily trust that creator as much, which means that there's no point in doing influencer marketing with them if the whole point of influencer marketing is to bring attention to products from a creator that they trust, right? So because of that, you definitely want to have that in there. Also, a little blurb about, your passion and what it is that you're doing with your YouTube channel, a blurb about your audience in terms of my audience is, this type of person that consumes this type of content. They're typically interested in these types of things. And by adding those things into your media kit as well, it also helps the brand have a good understanding if your content is a good fit for, for what it is that they have to offer. So adding those types of things. And then of course you can have a, contact me to discuss pricing, or you can go ahead and put a menu in there. And by menu, you can put one video if you choose to do that. But I always recommend people do at least 3 videos because that kind of keeps you off the hamster wheel of, of just constantly seeking, sponsor deals. But if you can, once you work with, a handful of companies and you get used to that process, then trying to expand out and doing longer term arrangements to where it's like, hey, I do a video a month for 6 months or 2 videos a month for 6 months or, a video a year or a video a month for a year, those types of things. And then when you start building things out that way, it keeps you off the hamster wheel as a content creator, and it helps you focus on the thing that you're best at, which is making the content. And then you already have those sponsorships in place to ensure, consistent income and all of that. And then you just go to work bringing attention to the companies that you work with, right? So, so that's what you want to add to your media kit. Let's see here. So as we keep on going down the list, let's see here. Does the schedule matter? I got that one. So what's a good price range for a digital product such as a checklist or a template? So think about your audience. So if your audience is, think about your audience and the content that you make. So for example, if all of your content is like about free stuff, then in that case, it's going to be harder just because that's, the people that are consuming your content are looking for free. So it's going to be harder to get those people to pay a larger amount of money for things. Some people will, but, it's going to be harder for them to pay a larger amount of money, but it's going to be easier for them to pay a smaller amount of money. In addition to that, if you are making content and the target audience that you're reaching is more affluent, then of course you can charge more for things than if the target audience that you're reaching, typically, they don't have a lot of, extra money laying around to spend on things, and it'll be more of an investment for them versus just being like, oh yeah, I got $20, not a problem. Or yeah, I got $50, here's $100, no sweat. Yeah, I would love to have this download. Here's $100. I don't even think about it, compared to like, man, if I spend $100, then I'm gonna have to work like, X amount of extra hours at work, and this is gonna be a big deal, right? So when you understand your audience, that also helps. Plus the value of the thing itself. So like if you are putting together something that's going to save people a substantial amount of time, then you can charge more money for it. If you're putting together something that's going to help people get results in something to where they would be able to get a direct return on that investment, then of course you can charge more money for it there as well. If it's more of a novelty thing, then of course you would charge less for it. So for example, don't go and get this because I haven't uploaded the update yet. It's made, but I have one page that I'm still finishing up for the update. But I have a product called Pad Planet, and you can get it at padplanet.com. I'll let people know my live streams once I get everything updated for it. But basically with that, it's like a $20 video planner. But it's $20 because I just put the time into it, and it's actually pretty extensive in terms of what it is. But in order to use it, you got to have an iPad, right? So because of that, people that are buying iPads, they're spending money on apps and, things like that anyway. So $20 for them, isn't anything. So it just kind of removes that barrier in terms of the price. I could probably charge $50 for it, probably $100 if I pushed it, but I make it available for, $20 so that it's just easily accessible for people. They can get it. And it's something they don't even have to think about. It's like, yeah, here's $20, no problem, right? So when you are pricing your stuff, just think about it from that perspective. But to be fair, just to let you know, I also, when it comes to making stuff and pricing it, that's a thing that I'm also challenged with. So me personally, like if I have something, that I'm going to be selling, I'll ask, other friends, like, hey, what do you think? Because fortunately I have a lot of friends that do internet marketing and sell products and stuff like that. So I'll just reach out to friends and be like, hey, this is what I'm thinking. Do you think, this would be fair for my audience and blah, blah, blah. And then, we'll kind of workshop, things that, that we're selling. Next says, I only upload shorts to my channel. Seems to be working well. Is this a bad thing? Not at all. Yeah, if that is in alignment with your goals, then absolutely. Creaky Blinder says, can I monetize via affiliate links? So with the type of content that you are making, I would do more merch related things with your content. Technically, there's probably some stuff that you could monetize through affiliate links in your particular case. But I would definitely, because you share very, strong opinions on things and stuff like that, which, is also in alignment with, what will cause people to buy merch. So because of that, I would definitely go down the merch route in your particular case. And I would also open up crowdfunding if you're not doing that also, because, you can talk about how, how you are, kind of helping people think in this, different way, but because of the subject matters that you talk about, some of your content, can be restricted in ads. Therefore, the crowdfunding, helps you continue to make that type of content. And then we also had some super chats. Let me answer these here really quick before they go away. So we have Zach Tall. Hey, what's going on, Zach? Says, question, do you think the YouTube yearbook is not getting enough attention when someone reaches a certain subscriber number? The YouTube yearbook. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you mean there. Do you mean like milestones or something? Yeah, I'm not really sure. I'm not sure what you mean there on the YouTube. What you mean there on the YouTube yearbook. Let's see here. So Ronnie Ramble says, how does one charge for a PDF? So there's different services that you can use. So one, you can create a one-page website on like a bunch of different, there's a bunch of different like website builders where you can just get like templates and stuff. So you can create a one-page template, and then you can just technically just put a PayPal button in there. So you create a business account for PayPal, and then you just put the PayPal button on there and they can just buy through that. Other things that you can do is you can also do things where you set up like a Shopify store. And technically, by the way, one thing that I didn't even mention is that when I was recommending to the camping channel, the Shopify option, not only when you set up a Shopify store, can you just bring attention to it through your links, but you can also have some of those products directly available underneath your videos as long as you qualify for it based on your subscriber count. You can have a shelf underneath your video that brings attention to those products without you even having to mention it in your videos. So you can also do that. But basically for the PDF, you can also set up a Shopify account, and you can also get like a one-page Shopify or one product Shopify store that you can get, or a template, and then you can have that set up, and you can connect like PayPal, Stripe, and other merchant accounts to your Shopify store and make it available there as well. You can also do something, and this comes down to like a technical skill. But if you do know if you know anything about a CMS content management service called WordPress, you can also use WordPress with something called WooCommerce, which is free. And then through WooCommerce, you connect your Stripe account, PayPal account, any other merchant account that you have, and then you are also able to send people to that WordPress site, and you can set up an e-commerce store on that WordPress site through WooCommerce. And then basically each individual item there will be sold too. That's what I do on my TuberTools website, tubertools.com. On that, I have a front-end store, and then people can buy items a la carte. And then that's all WordPress through WooCommerce. And then I also have a membership side where they can get everything that's in the store plus a lot more stuff. And then they just pay a monthly fee, which ends up being a lot cheaper if they're buying a lot of stuff from the store. So there's that option there as well. So for the membership side, I go through a service because it's a recurring membership. And then on the store side, I just use WordPress with WooCommerce. Great question. Let's see here. So I'm going to really quick, I'm going to open something up really quick just to make sure that I got all of the super chats. Give me 1 second here. And we also have life chats with Diane. Says, what's the best way to monetize a mental health channel with 32 subscribers? If you are doing a mental health channel, like with 32 subscribers, like just keep in mind, like if you have a small channel, any way that you monetize, it's going to look like a trickle. So one thing that I did, just as a quick tip for everybody here, when I was first starting to, figure out how to go full-time on YouTube, is I had a calendar, and this sounds crazy, but for me, it was really motivating. But I had a calendar, and in that calendar, I would start, like my first goal was make money every day. So basically in that calendar, I would start writing down the dollar amounts that I would make in that particular day. Or if it would be something where I would get like a payout in that month, then of course, like I would figure out the days that the sales are made and stuff like that. But basically I would take a calendar and I would start marking down like, hey, here's a sale here, here's a sale here, here's a sale here. And then what happens is as your YouTube channel grows and you start, going through, the growth stages of your channel, then you start noticing like, hey, I'm filling up a lot more days. And next thing you know, you're like, hey, I'm selling stuff every day. And the next thing you know, you're like, I'm selling, multiple things every day. And then it's like, wow, I'm selling a lot of things every day. And then, and then you can kind of, you see that happening through time, which is really cool. But the way that you can monetize yours in your particular case. And typically, by the way, super chats, typically, like with these questions on the monetization streams, I typically don't answer them because this is like a free thing provided by Uscreen. But because it is like the only one that came in about it, I think I am, going to answer it. But the things that I would think about is if there is any type of programs available for, people that are dealing with mental health, then I would, see if there's any type of affiliate things for those, if they are paid. I don't know if they are or not. When it comes to affiliate marketing, I don't know if there's devices or anything like that in terms of things that people can do to relax or to, do anything to help them combat those problems. Like meditation cushions, for example, bringing attention to those types of things as an affiliate might be a way. If you are a mental health professional, then in that case, providing services would be like the fast path to, generating income from your channel. So if you are a mental health professional and you do that for a living, then in that particular case, spreading awareness that you offer those services is definitely something to consider as well. And then of course, crowdfunding, which could be where you set up like a buy me a coffee or something like that. Buymeacoffee.com is the link for that. But you set up the buy me a coffee. And then through that buy me a coffee, people can donate, through that, just through appreciation for what it is that you're doing through your content. So let's see here. Another super chat that came in says, I got demonetized, asked YouTube what and which video, and they don't tell me. So I don't know how and what to fix it to get monetized again. So you should actually see the videos that, got demonetized on your account. That should be in the emails that you received. Or you should be able to hop on with YouTube chat and have them tell you what content. So one of the things that they're doing with the community guidelines, which is usually what will cause something to get demonetized, it'll be, that or the content itself won't be advertiser friendly. But basically one of the things that they are currently doing is they have made it to where if you get demonetized, if you get a community guidelines, then they are putting like a timestamp letting you know the video and all that stuff. So that's rolling out right now. So you might not have it yet, but I would definitely try to hop on like the YouTube community forum, at Team YouTube on Twitter, those types of resources to try to figure out exactly what happened. Let's see here. So K-Soul says, would you monetize spoken word content? If you mean spoken word in terms of you doing poetry, then in that case, I would put together and this is kind of like, okay, in my space with the type of content that I make, people write books, right? So in your case, with the type of content that you make, you might want to put together like coffee table poetry books or something like that if you're doing spoken word poetry, and then make those available for sale. So you can do that to where it's print on demand through Amazon also. So all you would do there is you'd look for Amazon print on demand, and then you would, figure out the requirements that they need in terms of sizing and all that. And then you could create, spoken word content. If you do spoken word around specific things, like for example, if your spoken word content is around, even if it's poetry, but if it's around like motivation, then in that case, linking to, motivational resources, motivational audiobooks through Audible. For the mental health channel, for Life Chats with Diane, you could also do this because I'm pretty sure that Audible, which is an Amazon company, still has their affiliate program. So you could also link to books on Amazon, and you could also link to Audible for their affiliate program so that you can link to very specific books and other resources for mental health. And then for the spoken word, you could also do something similar. And then another thing you could do is if you make spoken word content, there's probably a lot of people that are watching that content and enjoying it that also would like to do spoken word. But since spoken word, if you are doing poetry, because it is an art form, some people are also trying to learn how to do it. So you could also create course material for that as well, so that you could actually teach people how to do spoken word, teach them your process, how you think of things, the resources you use, if any, to, put together, your poetry. Doing those type of things would be something, that you would, could consider or at least look into. Red Role Plays says, hey, Nick, I'm trying to bring people to my multi-channel network. I don't have enough subscribers for sponsorships. Do I just keep creating content? So when it comes to sponsorships, yes, keep creating content. You'll get there. But keep in mind, when it comes to sponsorships, you have to make sure that the content that you're making is primed for sponsorships. So make sure that it's brand friendly. Make sure it's family friendly. Make sure that it's clearly from the outside. And what I mean by that is when somebody looks at your YouTube channel, if somebody just sends them a link or they happen to run across it on Twitter or on Reddit or something, if they run into your YouTube channel, the second they land on your channel, is it clear who the audience is for that channel based on the content that you're making, how clear the value proposition is on your channel and all of that? The answer is yes. It's going to be way easier to get sponsorships than if the answer is no. So make sure every one of your channels in your multi-channel network that it's targeted towards a very specific audience. If it is, then in that case, just keep grinding it out, keep making content, put together a media kit for each individual channel and as the network, and then start reaching out to people that would also be a good fit for that as well. So what you want to do for that is you want to go and look at all the other people that make content, just like the content that you make for each one of those channels, look in their video descriptions, figure out who's getting sponsored by who, and then start approaching those companies with your network, and then ask them, or don't ask them, but just let them know if your views aren't big yet, like try to be getting at least 1,000 views, 5,000 views, something like that consistently, so that you can offer really low amounts, right? Like, hey, let's build up, right? Like, I'm looking for sponsors for this. I'll give you just like a rock bottom rate. And then, as I start sending more and more traffic and we start getting more conversions, then we can start lifting the rate from there if you're wanting to do that sort of thing. Or pause, right? Keep making content, build up your network, make it more valuable, and then start reaching out so that you can start getting the bigger gains, faster that way, instead of starting the relationship low and having to go through the painstaking process of lifting that monetary value up. Then you can approach them with something solid and you can actually, ask, a good price for what it is that you offer. Zach Tull says, how many comments do I have to get 1 million comments or 1 billion? How many comments do I have to have 1 million comments? Well, you would have to have 1 million comments or 1 billion comments in order to have 1 million or 1 billion comments. So that was like a trick question. I see what you did there. That was super fun. Chill with Kimmy B says, can I add an e-commerce link on my channel? Yes, as long as you reach YouTube's qualifications for that. I think now, I'm pretty sure off the top of my head that it's around 10,000 subscribers, I think. Then you can add that shelf underneath your channel. So if your channel is within the limits of being able to do that, then you can add a Shopify store to your channel. I think there's some other options that they're exploring as well, but I'm not sure what's publicly available yet. But as of right now, I'm 100% certain that as long as you reach the YouTube qualifications to do it, that you can connect your Shopify store. How that works is you make the Shopify store, and then they have a plugin that you put in, and then that connects the Shopify store to your YouTube channel. And then if you also want them to appear in the Google Marketplace, then you also can submit them for approval there as well. And that was for Chill with Kimmy B. So I hope that you got some value out of our conversation today. Again, this stream is brought to you by uscreen.tv. I've got a link down in the description. Check them out and just look at what they have to offer and see if with the type of content that you have and where you are at on your journey currently, if there's any way that, you can get value from Uscreen. So again, you can go to uscreen.tv for that. Or if you want to, help me out and give me some credit in terms of helping them continue to sponsor this, then make sure you click the link that's in the description. So then that way, they know that it came from here. But really, if you don't want to click that, it's fine. Just go to uscreen.tv. But if you click that, then that'll, help ensure that I can keep doing these things, for the people that do go and check that out. So definitely check that out. And if you like this stream, I'm also going to be doing another one next week as well. So just keep an eye out for it. And it's going to be the same exact format. We're going to be doing the same thing where we just randomly pull up channels. And make sure you hit the like button on the way out. And I'm going to be putting out news on Friday where I keep you up to date with all the news that impacts you as a content creator. So that's happening on Monday or on Friday. I'm going to be streaming on Saturday where I'm doing Q&A for about 3 hours. So if you got questions about YouTube, make sure to check in there. And besides that, have an awesome rest of your week. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I will see you next time.
If you're enjoying the show, remember to give it a thumbs up and share it with